quality circle. So a quality circle or quality control circle is a group of workers who do the same or similar work, who meet regularly to identify, solve work. It consists of minimum 3 and maximum 12 members in number. So characteristics of quality circles are also given. Volunteers set rules and priorities, decision made by consensus, organized approach to problem solving. Members of a circle need to receive training, support of senior management required, and members need to be empowered. So basic quality circle, uh, people from different departments, they actually meet regularly to discuss about some common problems, or if they have some common objective, so that there may be a consistency and there must not be some discrepancy. So that's why circle is actually preferred, and it is practiced in uh, almost in all the organizations. Quality circle is practiced. So quality circle basically helps to resolve many issues, and it helps to reach uh, okay, decision is actually made by consensus, and many a times different techniques are used. For example, suppose Delphi method. Delphi method is a kind of that kind of thing. Okay, where suppose a questionnaire is given to everyone who are presenting, who are attending the quality circle. They give their feedback. Okay, and is anonymous. That means nobody that what the other person is writing, or the kind of feedback he or she is giving. So in this way, the feedbacks are taken, and the average values of the feedback, or the most of the what opinion is most, that is actually taken by that. After taking the feedback, that can be easily noticed, that what is the say of most of the people. So then again another round can be organized, where people try to give the put the values the as near as possible to the mean value. Okay, so in this way many rounds can be performed, as long as all the decision makers, they do not come to a point, so that which is actually known as the consensus. So in this way the Delphi method is actually performed. So Delphi method may be used for the quality circle. I'm saying that it may be used, not necessarily. Some other methods can also be used, but usually the Delphi method can be used for quality circle, or even no method can be used. Simply they can discuss some common issues. Okay, and though it is said here that it consists of minimum 3 and maximum 12 members in number, but it may vary. Even more than 12 members can participate in a quality circle if required. So it will help to uh, uh, resolve many issues, including the discrepancy of the opinions, or to make a consistency uh, about the decisions. So now this is the PDCA cycle of Deming. So we have already seen that Deming is a quality expert. Deming was a quality expert. So this is very useful one cycle. Deming cycle, PDCA cycle means P for plan, D for do, C for check, A for act. First you plan ahead for change, analyze and predict the results. Then do, that means execute the plan, taking small steps in controlled circumstances. Then you check or study the results, and finally you act, that means take action to standardize or improve the process. This is also this may be useful for continuous improvement process. Okay, this may be a step towards the continuous improvement. Okay. uh, why the Deming's cycle is important? Because though it may looks very simple, but this is very fundamental in quality management. Quality concepts have been derived actually based on the Deming's PDCA cycle. For example, the Six Sigma. Six Sigma is actually based on the Deming's PDCA cycle. You will find that their DMAC or DMADV methodologies are used, but those are basically based on the Deming's PDCA cycle. Now, another contribution of Deming is 14-point plan for TQM. There are 14. The first, create constancy of purpose. Then second, adopt the new philosophy. Third, cease inspection, require evidence. Fourth, improve the quality of supplies. 5, continuously improve production. 6, train and educate all employees. 7, supervisors must help people. 8, drive out fear. 9, eliminate boundaries. 10, eliminate the use of slogans. 11, eliminate numerical standards. 12, let people be proud of their work. 13, encourage self improvement. And 14, commit to ever improving quality. So, but you just need to know that Deming proposed this kind of 14-point plan. Okay, and seeing this, many other quality experts, they also proposed different points. But this is the primary step of the 14-point plans for TQM in order to improve the quality. Particularly, this is focused on the manufacturing-based industries, but also it can be implemented in case of service industries. Then so Juran's quality trilogy consists of quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. You can see this triangle: quality planning, quality control, and quality improvement. So quality planning provides a system that is capable of meeting quality standards. Quality control is used to determine when corrective action is required, and quality improvement seeks better ways of doing things. So these are just theoretical parts. Now, another thing is the Crosby's zero defect approach. Okay. So Crosby is known for his concepts of do it right first time and zero defects. He defines quality as conformance to requirements which the company itself has established for its products based directly on customers' needs. And he emphasizes prevention management in every area. He gave his own 14 points for quality management, which were different from the 14 points of Deming. Just saying that many quality experts, just like Deming's 14 point, some other quality experts, they proposed their own quality points. Okay, it actually varies depending upon the type of the industry or type of the organization where you are actually working. So Crosby's 14 steps to quality improvement are: the first is management commitment, second quality improvement team, third measurement, fourth cost of quality, five quality awareness, six corrective action, seven zero defects planning, eight employee education, nine ZD day. It is actually uh, zero defect day. Actually, this is observed in many industries as zero defect days. 10 goal setting, 11 error cause removal, 12 recognition of good work in the quality process, 13 established quality councils, and 14 reputation. So Crosby's these 14 steps, they are also related to quality improvement, but these focuses on zero defects. Uh, Actually, uh, Crosby proposed that we should try to minimize our defects right from the very beginning of the production process, because if the so what it says that the rectification, so it should be identified at the very first stage, and it should be corrected. Because suppose you have done a particular whenever you are manufacturing a product, or suppose a part you are manufacturing, it consists of several manufacturing steps. Now suppose you have done something wrong in the first processing. Okay, you have not identified it, you have processed it in the second step, third step, fourth step. Now after finishing the entire thing, then you suppose you are realizing that you have actually done the mistake at the first process. So automatically there may be no of fourth process at all, because you have already done the mistake at the first step. So what will happen? The second, third, fourth, fifth, all the subsequent steps, in all the subsequent steps, you have given effort which has gone in vain. So that's why it is a better practice to identify the defect right at the very beginning, and okay, so the similar kind of approaches uh, you will see also in uh, Japanese production system, which is the term is at Pokayoke. Pokayoke is actually a mistake prevention system. That also follows just like right at the first time you, whenever there is a defect, you identify it and rectify it. This is the method of Pokayoke, which is very equivalent to the Crosby zero defect approach. Now we'll start the second chapter, which focuses on quality standards and prices. So first Let's discuss about ISO. ISO 9000. So it is a global quality management standard at system level, not product quality standard. If a firm gets ISO 9000 certification, it doesn't mean that the firm's products or services are superior in quality to the other firms which has not opted for such certification. For instance, for a long time, Japanese firms producing excellent quality products have not bothered to obtain the ISO certification. This does not make their products and services inferior in quality. The second point is ISO 9000 certification is not mandatory, it is voluntary. Third, ISO 9000 certification is valid for not more than 3 years. There are re-audits by the ISO registers every 3 years in order to ensure continued compliance. Fourth is ISO 9000 helps to improve the image of the company. It also helps to meet the demand of the company's own quality management systems. Fifth is ISO is the acronym for International Organization for Standardization located in Geneva, Switzerland. The term is a Greek word meaning equal, homogeneous or uniform. That is precisely the idea behind ISO 9000, which is an attempt to bring in uniformity in the quality standards prevailing each pertaining to a different country. The ISO 9000 standards, which consists of 6 parts, it means ISO like ISO 8402, ISO 9000, ISO 9001, ISO 9002, ISO 9003, and ISO 9004 standard for system standardization and certification rather than product standardization and classification. ISO 8402, it deals with the standardization of quality. ISO 9000, it is a series of guidelines for selection and use of appropriate system standards of ISO 9001, ISO 9002 or ISO 9003. Thus, ISO 9000 is the roadmap to the entire series. So ISO 9001 includes 20 chapters like scope and field of application, references, definitions, management responsibility, quality system principles, economics, quality in marketing, quality in specification and design, quality in procurement, quality in production process control, control of production, product verification, control of measuring and test equipment, non-conformity, corrective actions, handling and post-production actions, quality documentation and records, personal training, product safety and liability, and this comprehensive certification is desired by manufacturing organizations which design their own products. ISO 9002, it focuses on the earlier, just like the earlier stated, design and servicing. 20 elements are dropped so as to focus more on manufacturing. ISO 9002 applies to firms which provide goods or services as per the design or specification given by the customers. Many process industries used to opt for the ISO 9002 certification as they thought that their activities neither involve design nor servicing. However, now many of these firms are seeing the parallels between R&D and design and hence opting for comprehensive ISO 9001 certification. Now, ISO 9003 drops most of the manufacturing related elements, leaving only final testing and inspection. And ISO 9003 certification is generally desired by organizations like the testing laboratories which inspect and test the supplied products. ISO 9004 helps building up a quality system that can fit to a specific situation. There may be 20 chapters as mentioned earlier. So what now we will look at the ISO. We all have heard about the okay, International Organization for Standardization. But one typical question which is asked very is widely asked, uh, and also it comes in the examination, that why ISO 9000 it does not provide the guarantee of the quality of the product or service. Answer is ISO 9000. It is actually focused on the system level. That means whether the system in your manufacturing industry or be it in your service industry, whether the systems are at par or not, that is actually reflected by ISO 9000. But it does not ensure that the product or service will be good, because it only focuses on the system level. Now, it is expected that if your system level uh, performance is good, then obviously uh, you will be delivering good products or services. So that is expected, but it's not mandatory. Okay. So this is one thing you should remember. And another thing you should remember, that in ISO 9000 there are different parts of ISO 9000. Okay, you can see that ISO 9001, ISO 9002, 9003, 9004. So all these parts are there. So each and every part, it includes several chapters. Now some parts are very exhaustive in nature. For example, ISO 9001, this is very exhaustive in nature, because uh, uh, or ISO 9002, because these are actually mostly used by the manufacturing industries. So a lot of chapters you will find in ISO 9001 and ISO 9002. But in case of ISO 9003 or ISO 9004, suppose some company or organization which deal with only the testing, so they don't need those all those chapters which are provided in ISO 9001 or ISO 9002. They drop the most of the element, they only keep those elements which are required. Okay, so some particular parts are very exhaustive in nature, and other parts some chapters are dropped, because those are applicable to some particular specific industries which are not very much exhaustive, like manufacturing area. Okay, so this is uh, uh, and also ISO, it is valid for 3 years, you should know. But and also those who don't have ISO 9000 certification, it doesn't not necessarily that it doesn't mean, or it's not necessarily that those farms are not good, those farms do not deliver good products or service. It's not like that, because you can see that the example is given that the Japanese farm, many Japanese farms, they do not opt for ISO 9000 because it's a voluntary, but still they provide very good product, or they deliver very good services. So just like that, there is also ISO. So ISO 9000 has no formal relationship with ISO 9. Sorry, ISO 9000. It has no formal relationship with ISO 14000. But ISO 14, but it's the standard wise, it's structure wise, they are very much alike. And ISO for 9000, it focuses mainly on the quality of the products or services. whereas 14,000 is a global environmental management. The guiding intention behind ISO 14,000 is to bring about global environmental consideration in all industrial and business activities, transcending the narrow national or regional considerations, since the environmental effects are global, and therefore there are several uh, trans is felt that in this globalized world of trade, a corporate should encounter a single or uniform environmental management system anywhere it would like to operate. The ISO 14,000 certification is also voluntary, just like ISO 9000, but it is likely to become an essential prerequisite for carrying out trade around the world. Okay. Now take a look at the quality awards. It is uh, the Deming popular. It's led by the Union of Japanese Scientists and Engineers since 1951, and it is named after W. Edwards Deming, who worked to improve the Japanese quality after the devastation of the Second World War. And this prize was not open to foreign companies until 1984. But after that, it was open to all, and Florida's P&L was the first US company to win this prize. Okay, so this is uh, the total of, we have completed the second chapter. Then there is the third chapter, offline quality control or design of experiments. But we will not discuss the third chapter because the third chapter is very big. There is a design of experiments, so will be discussed in details. There will be full factorial design. There will be fractional factorial design, and there we will discuss uh, robust design, particularly the Taguchi's robust design approach. We'll discuss. So we will discuss this later. But before that, we can look at the fourth chapter, which is known as quality function deployment or QFD. In Japanese, it is actually known as Hin Shituki Noten Kai. So it was first developed in Japan in the late 1960s by Prof. Shigeru Mizuno and Yoji Akao. Both were very renowned quality experts. Actually, you will find that most of the quality related concepts or even the production management oriented concepts, they have derived either from US or from Japan. Okay. In case of they rely much more on the statistics or statistical analysis type of thing. Okay. For example, the Six Sigma, it's entirely based on it's majorly based on the statistical approaches. So the Six Sigma, the concept of Six Sigma, it came from USA, from Motorola. Okay. Now, if you think about uh, the concept of lean manufacturing or JIT based approaches, just in time or pull type of production system. So these concepts have actually derived from came from Japan, from Toyota. Okay. Six Sigma came from Motorola, and Toyota, and lean manufacturing, the JIT based approach came from actually Japan. So which is very visual type of tools are used. One card in JIT based approaches. So here also the QFD is also you will see that though the statistical methods may be incorporated in this, but still you can see the quality house. So QFD is also a visual representation uh, is there. Okay, you will find. So the purpose of Professors Mizono and Akao was to develop a quality assurance that would design customer satisfaction into a product before it was manufactured. So prior quality control methods were primarily aiming at fixing a problem during or after manufacturing. So basically, in quality function deployment, it is a methodology for building the voice of the customer into product and service design. It is a team tool which captures customer requirements and translates those needs into the product or so what the basic funda of QFD is that earlier before 1960 the manufacturing organizations they try to speculate the requirement of the customers and based on that they try to design and after that they try but after manufacturing the product in many times it happened that customers they did not like the product because the design of the product was not as per the requirement of the customers. It was just based on speculation. So that's why in order to remove or to eliminate this problem, these professors they came up with the concept of the quality function which can translate the need of the customers, which is very often known as VOC or the voice of customers, to the technical requirements or the requirements for the design. And based on the voice of the customers, the manufacturing organizations, they design and after that they manufacture the product. So it is quite expected that your product will be accepted by the customers and you capture the market. Okay, at least the probability will go high. So this is the basic funda. And the quality function deployment is actually achieved by building a house of quality, which looks like this. You can see that this is the house. There is a correlation matrix. There is the main thing is that the voice of customers, the technique you can rate the voice of customers. That means the importance of the ratings. You can create the relationship matrix, strong, weak, and medium. Then the correlation matrix, this also you can create. You can do the competitive technical assessment, operational, you can address the operational goals or targets, and the customer competitive assessment that also you can do. And everything will be done in a is the advantage of this method. Okay, so there are some functions of each and every block. It has got some functions. So in the next class we will discuss uh, about the functions of these blocks, and also we will give an example of the pizza. Okay, we have the other examples, for example, the bicycle, the example of a bicycle that is also given, but I will use the example of the pizza because it is very easy to understand, but in case of bicycle it is not very easy to understand because a lot of technical features you need to know about the bicycle, otherwise you cannot do it. Okay, but in case of pizza, that kind of required, so you can easily okay. So that's why I was saying earlier that this is one a disadvantage of this particular course is that if you want to do these kinds of things, you need to have at least some technical knowledge about the product or the process. Unless you have the core technical knowledge, even if you know the tools and techniques, you cannot go for it unless you know the technical things. Okay. So anyway, so today I'm going to end the session. I'm going to stop the recording.